Welcome back on the channel, guys. Today we are going to be doing some native game testing on the iPhone, and this time because you said several options and most of them were CarX, I said okay, let's just do CarX. Now I'm just gonna play CarX straight for some time, probably 30 minutes, guys. And very important, I will not be on Wi-Fi, so I will be on the 5G connection. And as you can just see, guys, nothing else runs on my iPhone, so I still have some RAM memory free. And before we start the test, guys, I want to measure the temps. Okay, so like 30, and also measure it a bit at the back, because we know right now that the iPhone really gets very hot here, because here is where we have the SoC. And some of the other interesting elements, I'll be using here my DualSense PS5 controller, just a bit easier for me to also have some fun while I'm testing the game. So let me just start it. I'm gonna be using the highest settings that are available, and let's just see how the iPhone will perform if I play a native game, unlike the God of War I did with the PPSSP emulator, because we know that iOS is not really having some advantages when it goes down to emulation, and also OpenGL has been somehow discontinued since iOS 12. So this test probably was not, let's say, so accurate, but I still believe that it really showed the fact that the iPhone can just go as hot as 47 Celsius. Ambient temperature 25.3, and it's also very important to check on that battery. We start with 59%, guys. So that's about it. I'm now going to start playing, and please enjoy this video. And if you're here for the first time, you might as well want to check some of the other videos that I'm doing. I just need a bit more time to get used to this. All right. By the way, if you have any questions on how to pair the DualSense controller, it's very, very easy, guys. Just need to enter the pairing mode and then go and choose Bluetooth on your phone. So hold these buttons here, right, the share and the PS button for some seconds, like 5 to 10 seconds, and then it's gonna start. Oh my god, oh my god, the first frame drops, right? Not even just playing the games for, I'm not sure, like 1 minute. Okay, let me just see where is this drifting here. Why drifting is very important to get bonuses. Okay, I got it. All right. Sadly, I'm not able to give you the FPS counter, guys. Didn't want to install PerfDock, and I'm not able to enable the Metal FX to get a counter. But what I want to see is really like just pure optically from the gameplay. If there are I wanted to say any noticeable drops, but you can just see there are some stutters. But this game looks very realistic, so I'm really thrilled to see if the S23 Ultra is just be the same or it's gonna nail it. All right, 10 minutes mark. And I'm going to do my first reading here. All right. So, okay, let me just first take the phone in the hand. Ooh, wow! I can tell you guys, just by having the phone in my hand, I already have a feeling that some records will be set here. 31, 38! 38 on the front. 41.7 on the front. So I think on the back it's gonna be crazy. 45.8. 45.2, 42. All right, so I'm just trying to measure here all these points, and I don't have a continuous stem gun, so it's really, really crazy how the 47.2. I think we hit a sweet spot. 47.7. That's probably even higher. 47.9. Probably even 48. Oh my god. Oh my god. 48.3. Oh yes. All right, now, okay. So one thing, guys, has been confirmed, right? It's not only the emulation. If you are playing some very graphically intense games, of course, not only graphically, but also CPU intense games, then the iPhone really will go hot as crazy. But so far, at least, we don't have so much visible drops in the frame rate, and I really enjoy the gameplay. I said the experience is almost flawless, right? The only few things that I don't like are these occasional stutters, and that some of the textures are just rendered too close. I just would like to have them rendered at the back, so that I have like this. See here, like I have a bit of a more immersive experience. Very, very close to initiate my second reading, which will happen at 20 minutes mark, and then the last 10 minutes. I just hope that the performance will be still the same. Now, I have a feeling that the phone stabilized a bit, but it struggled for real, right? So It was not, let's say, the ultimate gaming performance, but I have to also praise it. Now it feels a bit more stable compared even to the minutes 15 to, let's say, 17. I don't know really what Apple is doing here, right? But it seems to somehow stabilize it. So, okay, that's some good news. Let's hope it's some good news. And I can hardly wait. 20 minutes mark, guys. So, let me just stop the phone. Wow, okay. I can tell you now, it's almost not pleasant just by holding it. On the front, we have 39.4, 41.6, okay, 42, 43. That's just the front, guys. And we know like this here is usually like the hotspot. Okay, 46, 45, 45.5, 47. Okay, a bit more. All right. I'm just gonna try like to find the hottest spot, but it seems that it's going up to 47. And it's for sure not so pleasant to even hold it in the hand. And what I can clearly say is that in the beginning it was really a bit more stable, and after somehow like 10 minutes the performance crippled. I guess this is when the iPhone hit like 47 Celsius. It tried to recover for a bit. It's still very playable, as you can just see like all these cars and all the shadows and all the reflections. It looks very photorealistic and the graphics are awesome. And I can just also show you the cockpit, so no like visible stutters. 5 more minutes until I'm able to take the final reading, and we also check the battery levels. I have a feeling that with the hit like this, yeah, you know how it goes. The best friend of throttling, right? Like the battery discharge. Okay, now I am out of gas. I can just probably run for a few more meters and that's over for me. Game over, no? Okay, some front temps. Front temps almost 40 on the front temps. 42, 39, but you know, like the real thing is at the back. 45, 45.8, 45.5, 45.3, 42. So it's true that somehow the iPhone like managed to compensate. Remember, in the 10 minutes mark, we got something like 47. And now I think it managed to cool down a bit, while of course it throttled, right? So, but in the end of the day, like it was really very much playable now, although not ideal. So now I'm gonna put the phone to rest a bit, and now I'm gonna take the S23 Ultra and do the same. All right, the Ultra is here, already paired to my controller here. No recent apps, guys, everything closed. And without any further ado, let me just run the game and just repeat the same process. So I'm already gonna start the clock. Okay, I'm gonna show you the graphical settings and let's just see how much we'll have on the Ultra. All right, and just before we start, let me just take some readings. Okay, you can just see 29.9, so phone was just resting. 30, this is on the front. And if we go in the back, guys, again like 30. I'm just gonna try to find like the hottest part of the SoC, but the SoC I think is somewhere around here. I've turned off the Wi-Fi, but as you can just see, not able to get the 5G here, but it's 4G plus. Starting the CarX Street on my S23 Ultra. I'm gonna show you the graphical settings. My DualSense PS5 controller is already connected, paired with the phone. So let's do a quick check on the graphics and we're going to initiate the test. I'm very thrilled to see two things. First, is this still gonna be playable like on the iPhone? Of course, not perfect, but playable after almost 30 minutes of gameplay. And also, guys, what temps we're gonna get. All the settings here set to high, and we go now to the city. All right, buckle up and let's start. All right, just a bit too noisy. Okay, that's a bit better. Almost 4 minutes of gameplay, no noticeable drops whatsoever. And of course I have to say it doesn't really look like 60 FPS, and I didn't really expect this to be 60 FPS because this game, just the graphics, it's really, yeah, I can just see with all the reflection and all the lighting and all the textures, and with the highest graphical setting, looks to be very, very much intensive. Now it's time for the first reading, so I'm just gonna stop. Let me just see how much we're gonna get on the front. Oh, 43 on the front, I can tell you, 43 here, so definitely this is taking also some toll on the Samsung. 40, okay, 40. I just want to measure more points just to be fully exact. 43.3 is the highest point, so around 43. But remember that after 10 minutes of gameplay, the iPhone went to 47. So yeah, I think it's competition, right? The good news here is after 10 minutes of play, there were no visible stutters like I experienced on the iPhone. It's not perfect, it's fully playable like it was on the iPhone, but I think the consistency here is a bit higher, so I didn't really get these moments where like I just have a feeling that I'm dropping from like 45 to like 10 FPS. No, not on the S23 Ultra, so that's probably an advantage. I'm already at the 20 minutes mark of my test and I'm left without any gas, so let me just pause the phone and let's just take some measurement. I have to be honest, guys, yeah, this phone is also not feeling pleasant in my hand. 43.3 on the front, 44, all right, so we're now getting 43 dot something, so let me just turn it back and let's try to search for the hottest spot here. 43.9, 43.9. All right, so it's clearly all 43, but all right, we are not seeing something like we saw on the iPhone that was like 47. Okay, but I can tell you guys, 44 and above. So it really feels hot. We're now approaching the end of the test, so I'm gonna do a final donut. And that's it, guys. Let me stop it. And now the final result, okay. Let me just pull up the temp gun. 42.6, 43.5, 44 almost, okay. I'm taking multiple readings to make sure that I'm 44.6, guys. Wow, okay. Yep, 44 for sure. Let me just do on the back. Okay. So this has been the CarX Street native game test, a very graphically and CPU intensive game. So that's my recap, guys. Honestly, the game was playable on both phones. Very nice frames in the very first 5 minutes of the test, with some drops even very early on the iPhone 15 Pro Max. But at the end of the day, after the 10-minute mark, both phones dropped the frame. But in the end of the day, the highest temp here that we reached was like 44 something, and here almost 47. So this is like the biggest difference I was able to identify. I cannot say that this is better than this. Honestly, the gameplay experience was not perfect on both phones after 10 minutes, but I'm just using the very highest settings available. So there is no clear winner in this test for me. Probably the only downside was that the iPhone was running a bit hotter. You can also check the battery level. So I mean, this type of heat like 44 and up will just eat your battery like crazy. So I'm just going to keep doing those tests, guys. Let me know which is the next game that you want me to test. And thank you so much for watching. VST over and bye.